Alright, we go first against Scarab God. This is such a close hand, but no blue this time. Okay. Let's keep this. At the risk of losing the mana tithe, let's give her the tap land here. Alright, let's give her the boots. They didn't play a black source, so I feel slightly safe, but I could be wrong. There's the black source. They got blue open, so I don't want to go for the Geist here. I think I'd rather wait for a turn when I can go for Geist and the Mana Tithe, or maybe even the Myral. Okay, so they're leaving up all their stuff. Let's go for the Cold Steel Heart then. So the good thing is, if they do go for Scarab God, we have the swords, which means it won't be able to come back to hand. Am I bothered about that? To be honest, no. 3 damage a turn. It casts for literally no value. I feels very hasty doing that. I guess it's a blocker for the Geist. Okay, so they're playing out all their stuff. Relentless dead. Keeping up their blue precious mana, of course. Okay, fine. Let's try and go for the Geist here. They've got 2. If they've got a counter spell, we can mana tithe it. What spell is it going to be? Wash away. So they're going to counter it unless they pay 2. We can actually get around this. So we can counter one of them. And then we can resolve the other one. Yeah, we had to do that, otherwise we would have had to pay 4. But we only had 3 mana open, so they basically lost a creature for doing that. A very weird card to use in the format, just because for 1 blue more, you can just go for counter spell. So the keep and all this stuff. So now we can go for Myral and the boots on Myral as well. But they've got Death Touch, that's a bit of an issue. We could just wait though. We could start attacking. Let's just get rid of that. I think we need to be aggressive here. And then start swinging in. The Myral just is going to give us a lot of advantage here. The fact that they can't do anything in our turn as well, as long as she's out. Now, if they do go for Scarab God, it could be problematic. But we're just going to have to hope we get some more removal. We've got the Gates of Isfell to draw us a couple cards, so we might be doing that next turn. Crippling Fear. That's a pretty good hit. But they don't get rid of the Myral, which is quite useful. And they just quit. I mean, sure, I'll take that, but it wasn't glorious. So it turns out this deck was actually really fun. I've always enjoyed white-blue aggro. I think it's an interesting kind of twist on the deck. It's kind of like traditional sensibilities of controlling your opponent out. Geist of St. Traft can go one of 2 directions. I have heard tales that there is a counter version of this, which is not surprising whatsoever, but this is the aggro version with just a little bit of control kind of synergy. So some of the coolest things you can do with this deck is equip Geist of St. Traft with auras, because he's got hexproof, which means he's not going to be killed very easily. Also, whenever he attacks, he creates 4 for Angel. So what are some of the auras that we want to put on? We want to put Fly into him, so whenever he deals damage, we can venture into the dungeon, gives him flying as well. Curious Obsession draws us a card when he hits. Combat Research is similar, but it also gives him Ward 1, which probably won't come in that handy. And then you've also got the Staggering Insight, which is really cool as well. Gives it lifelink and also draw a card when it hits. So it's going to be really powerful if this manages to connect. The deck utilises a couple of the swords. The only swords in the arena right now is a Sword of Forge and Frontier, and also Sword of Body and Mind, which are just pretty powerful, giving him protection from red and green and also blue and green respectively. I think Arena is a bit scared of putting the other swords on, because once you start giving protection from white, black and red, those creatures are just going to be pretty much immortal and might as well just say indestructible. To go with the synergy of making the tokens, I'm not actually 100% sure if this works, because the tokens come in tapped and attacking, but if we use it with the Mondrak does actually double the amount of tokens you create. So I've not actually encountered this in testing, but I thought just shove it in and see what happens, essentially. So this can double the amount of angels. I think they'll come in tapped and attacking, because it is actually part of the token as it comes in. So you've got Mondrak, and you've also got Anointed Procession. So fingers crossed it works in the way I think. Worst case scenario, it will create the Angel token, but it will just sit there. But I think it copies all aspects of the original, so it should come in tapped and attacking. Let's just find out. As I said, I haven't managed to get them in testing, so I do apologise. We'll see how that works. But yeah, it's a pretty cool aggro list using a lot of white-blue stuff, which you've seen, across Azorius decks. Different things, you've got Obscure Polymorphist. When it enters exile something, they seek a creature card. This is pretty useful. Probably stronger in a flicker, bouncing style deck, along with a Deputy of Detention, but they do get rid of some annoying threats that are going to be in the way. And Vana's really good as well, because she can give your Geist indestructible, which is useful in case the opponent has board wipes. So it's a very aggressive curve, as you can see, maxing out around 2.5, about 40 lands in the deck. Only mana rocks are 2 mana or less, because we don't want to use 3 mana ones. It's just too expensive for this format. And I'd say the sneakiest card in the deck, probably the Ether Tunnel. It's an aura that gives unblockable to Geist, so it's going to be a 3/2 unblockable hexproof that creates 4/4s. It's going to close the game out pretty quick. So if you want to see the deck list, check it out in the deck list below. And you can also become a member if you check out the channel member tab below. You can see all the perks you can get. So let's get into the gameplay. Here we go first against Kenrath with a mono blue land base. Don't think we can keep that, to be honest. Okay, this is quite nice actually. So we'll bank the Mox Amber for now. We don't want to reveal it yet. So I guess our hand is very, very soft to board wipe, so let's hope they don't have one. Could be a pretty quick game if they don't have a board wipe though. The duress. So this is the one time I was just thinking that's the one time I really probably should have gone for the Mox Amber. Oh well. You just don't always expect a duress in a 5-colour deck. But I suppose, yeah, you win some, you lose some. I mean, the Mox Amber, there's sometimes, you play it and they destroy an artifact. That's the main reason I don't like to play it out. But if that was Thoughtseize, fine. Having 2 creatures out is nice because it protects us from sacrifice effects. If they have something that says we sack a creature, we can get rid of the other one. So if we go for Mondrak next turn, we can attack and create 2 angels. So they're going to find a board wipe, obviously. So that is making me think, okay, so we shouldn't go for Mondrak here. That is definitely a trap. So I think we're going to go for the other side. We're going to go for Valkyria. Because if they do have a board wipe, it just means that we lose all our creatures anyway. So there's no point. Might as well go for the non-linear strategy, which they're probably not as happy about here. They were probably hoping I was going to give them Mondrak an extra 4 damage, take them to 10, but then our whole field would have been annihilated. So this is the better route. Luckily, I don't think losing the Mox Amber damaged us that much, but yeah, that's just one of those things. So they're going for the ramp. So, oh, sword. Okay, that is pretty damn good. Increase the power output. Down to 5. Oh, that's a real shame that we can't play that Memory Deluge, but yeah, so we lose the Deluge forever there, which is sad because that would have been good to recoup. So if they do wipe the field here, yeah, so there's the creature removal spell, as expected. Okay, let's try for the Geist again. And let's just hope they don't have another way to kill. So annoyingly, the Kenrath can start to gain in life if they have enough mana so they can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ruinous Ultimatum. This is getting pretty old, I have to say. Okay, we'll go for Geist again. 3, 4, 5, 6. So if they play land, they can go for Kenrath and gain 5, and at that point, I just don't know anymore. We do have the removal though. We have the March. As if they had the ruinous ultimatum. Crazy. And the Kenrath. So, yeah, we're going to pay X equals 5. Don't need to exile anything. Get rid of that. Pretty good. And it's a shame we don't have an extra mana, because we could have basically done even more damage here, but if they don't block, this is 6, so they have to block, don't they? So, okay, so they basically need another board wipe or a sack effect. Because even Kenrath doesn't save them from the 4 angel over the top. They've had some bloody good answers. Escape to the wilds. No answers. 4 mana though. That's a lot of mana. No, we got him. We got the Kenrath player, guys. Fantastic. That was close considering. Alright, we go first against Goblins. No. Don't like this hand. This one's okay. It's a shame about the Loyal Warhound. We always seem to get this if we go first, which is so annoying. Doesn't work. It doesn't really work when you're going first, unless you're facing green decks. Oh well, it's a blocker. We shall use it so. Squeeze pretty powerful. Haste whenever he attacks, you get a 1/1, and you may cast it from the graveyard by paying 4 and exiling 4 other cards. From your graveyard rather than paying its mana cost. So it's like Flash, what's it called? Escape? Yeah, he essentially has Escape. Yeah, weird. Okay, so things are looking pretty good. We've got the Ether Tunnel, which means Geist can't be blocked, and Red can only really deal with Geist with board wipes, so... Ooh, Reflector Mage. I think this is more tempting, though. To bounce the token. Yeah, Reflector Mage is so powerful that he was actually banned in Standard and Modern. So he reads... Basically, he comes down, he bounces a creature to its owner's hand, and they can't cast spells with that name. And obviously in Standard and Modern, people are on playsets of a card, so a playset is 4 of a card. So this could... essentially stop you doing anything if it was the only creature card in your hand. It's super powerful, especially with Flicker. So yeah, they don't know what kind of deck we have. Ooh, they're ramping big. So it could be Big Chandra they're getting into there, which can't be countered if it is, so a negate might be useless. We could just take out some of their mana. That might slow them down a bit. It's a really aggressive move, but I just want to slow them down. I don't want them to have this Fable. Okay, so they use the mana there for something maybe? No? So if they wanted to fizzle that spell, you'd have to get rid of all available targets. But if they were to do that, then my wish would be complete. But it has multiple targets, yeah. It's pretty tough to stop something like that if you're mono red. 3 damage to each creature without flying. So that's what I was fearing there. Pretty lucky that they had that. So the Squee has haste, which means our Teferi probably isn't very safe. I mean, it's a red deck, right? They've got so many ways to deal with it. But I guess we're just going to have to go for it. Tapped and attacking, so that's 2 damage that can just come in. So I guess we might as well just use them to gain a bit of life, do a bit of untapping. 7 mana. Mono red. What's the worst thing they can do? There's probably a lot, to be honest. Squee. So that's going to be 3 damage to Teferi. It's pretty damn good, the fact you just... It's like Goblin Rebel Master. Smouldering Egg. So it's a Spellslinger style deck. Okay, Fateful Absence is good as well. So question is, do we want to... Yeah, we'll go for the Geist. So we could untap the Geist. Sorry, untap a land, the combat research. But I think it's better to just minus. Because we've not used his minus one time, so... Let's get one use at least. Time Warp? I think Time Warp's the choice here because the day of the board wipe would... The board wipe would help us, but it would also hinder us, so... Also now, because they have creatures, they're probably less inclined to use on the board wipe effect. Because it would kill all of their things as well. Not one you see very often, the Furious. Also, they're not running flyers, so I don't know why that's in the deck. It's a bit of a strange one. $10 damage to face. Wow. That was a hit and a half. 5 times. Do we win, though? Do we win? I think it's not looking good for them. I'll put it that way. So we're doing 6 here, and then 6 again. So yeah, we win with the Time Warp. Dick move, but there you have it, guys. Efficient and very strong deck. Oh, okay, Han is decent. So this guy's gamer tag is like a proper magic name, which is kind of cool. Transorb the Suppressor. So maybe that's his Dungeons and Dragons name. I want to use this video as kind of like a conduit for something. Essentially, ever since starting my new job, I haven't really felt like I'm still new in the job, so I don't really feel like I'm very good at anything there yet. It's very technical. But my point is, it just brought me to the fact how much I just love making videos for this channel. Because it's going to sound really weird, but before I made the channel, I kind of felt really lost in what I wanted to do. And, okay, so we can go for the dog. Yeah, so finding out that I could make a YouTube channel and make these magic videos and maybe teach people a few things kind of gave me like a bit of purpose. Not to discount having a family and a wife and stuff like that and friends. Obviously, this is more in the professional capacity. I've always felt like I wanted to be good at something professionally. So in terms of socially, I think I'm quite okay in that regard. But yeah, in terms of work, all the jobs I've had ever, I've never really felt like I belonged in those jobs. And I always used to get jealous when I see people happy in their jobs and people who have a clear progression path in their jobs. It's kind of weird really, because I had a one-to-one and I didn't really feel like I could say any of this in the one-to-one because it's just it's strange. I feel like I relate more to people I don't know on the internet than, you know, my manager and stuff who probably will never watch this. Probably the best. That's why I hide these kind of videos in the back end. So okay, let's go for Geist. Hexproof will mean that it should be protected from a lot of this stuff, really. But yeah, I just think that I think I'm pretty good at magic. And I think I'm pretty good at trying to convey information about it and trying to make people maybe have a good experience with it. I've not actually met someone in real life who said they didn't enjoy playing with me. So that's a good sign. I think that's a good sign. And Chilane, so that's going to be a roadblock, sorry. So yeah, when I make videos for this channel, and when I upload videos and company ideas, it's one of the few things that makes me feel like I have a purpose. like I'm doing something meaningful outside of my family life, of course. I think that's what drives me, drives humanity, is the urge to create. Humans always want to create and create something worthwhile, I suppose. So yeah, I don't really know what my point was, but yeah, I'll get to that in a sec. Let's see how this works with Anointed Procession. Let's give it a go. So swinging. So it does work how I thought. 2 angels come and attacking. That's pretty sick. Okay. So myth not busted, I guess myth confirmed. Don't know what the myth was. The myth was either it does create an extra one or it doesn't. Attacking. The attacking part was the mysterious part. But yeah, so when I make videos for this channel, I want them to be worthwhile. I want them to be good. I want you to enjoy them. So when people aren't happy with my videos for any reason, or say the deck is rubbish, you know, that's just going to happen being on the internet. But I just hope people understand like how much I put into the channel and stuff. So it's yeah, I really appreciate the support I've had. So thank you to everyone who supported me this far, basically. So yeah, we need to get rid of this tree folk, don't we? To be honest, Otawara does it. It's not elegant. It's not elegant, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So will they block with these things? Oh, I don't know. This is actually quite tricky. I wish I could go for the Teferi. That would make it so nice. Mondrak would be good. I think we go for the Otawara. This is really not glamorous, and the fact they played 2 things there is kind of annoying, but... So swing in. We'll create 2 angels. One swinging at Ren, one swinging at them. Okay, so we will lose the Geist here, but we do take care of the whole field.
Even in defeat, we grow.
So Tamiyo hasn't been deployed yet, so I guess they're using it in a more controlling capacity, which is entirely understandable. They're only at 6 life, I've just realised, so it's pretty low. Bright Druid is going to take it to 5. Okay, so I think we're going to have to play the Geist in our next turn. Please don't have a counter. If they have a counter, we're going to be in some trouble here. Damn, so in hindsight, we probably should have gone for the Midnight Clock Burst, but... So the cool thing about Geist here is that we basically have lethal, because they can't target it, so only a board wipe will suffice. If they get to the ultimate, then... So they could easily get to ultimate here, they proliferate, get to the ultimate, and then just have an Omniscience. And then we're just doomed. Unless the cards they draw aren't that great. So they draw 3, then they can play spells for free. Kind of a busted ultimate, to be honest. But... yeah, it's kind of crazy. If they didn't have all these Planeswalkers, then our Geist would have just gone to face the Angels. So, yeah, I'd highly recommend Anointed Procession in the deck. It's really good. They're going to get back Thirsting Roots, which means they can proliferate Ultimate. Well, let's see what they get then. It will cost them the Tamiyo. And bear in mind, they can only cast spells from their hand for free. So, if they do want to go for Tamiyo, they have to pay the normal cost. And also Uro from the graveyard won't be free either, so... But they're at 9 now, which means they're away from lethal, which is kind of irritating. Evolution Sage. Gilded Goose. So they've got loads of, like, annoying blockers. Oh my goodness. Amirius Call as well! Man, everything was fun until the Amirius Call. So we are in trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. Teferi can bounce one. Let's go for the Deluge first. I'm not happy about current state of things. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the Deputy actually is pretty insane here. The deputy gets rid of both of the angels. Please don't have a counterspell. So we can clear both of those. The Tamiyo can -3, returning anything they want. So we're going to swing here. And I think we're going to have to put both angels into Tamiyo, especially now that they've gained the life. Yeah, because otherwise if they're blocked with a goose, it's not going to be able to kill the Tamiyo. So yeah, we got really lucky without a deputy. Although they've both got indestructible. Ah, okay. So I suppose the mission was to kill the Tamiyo, wasn't it? One of them, anyway.
I question this.
Okay, so yeah, I forgot, to be honest, that it gives your non-angels indestructible. Maybe that's going to affect the game. So now they can proliferate with land. So if they go for the Tamiyo, play a land, proliferate. Oh, they could even -2 to tap some things. And they can +1 whenever they deal damage, draw cards. They can basically +1 here to draw a couple of cards if they want to by targeting their own creatures. So choose 2 creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of those deals combat damage, draw a card. Okay, so they've gone for Uro instead. So we're in a bit of trouble here. It's annoying because we were so close, you know. We literally were at a point where it was lethal, but... And the other annoying thing is, like, we're not definitely out yet. It's just that
Listen and learn.
they're in such a strong position, having Omniscience, Uro, play stuff for free, draw cards, so they can just play whatever they drew there. March can exile something. Let's see if we can get an extra turn. If not, this might just be game. Okay, so we can go for the midnight clock. Yeah, it's a shame we couldn't have gone for the Teferi there. We could have tried to bounce something. So there's no good attack, sadly. I think the March might be coming in for the Uro there. Getting rid of this is going to be pretty awesome if we can. So this costs 3, so this is going to be 4 mana. Let's try our best to get rid of this. We have the negate as backup as well. Okay. Guess we'll go for the Teferi. Whether they have anything in their hand to cast for free, so this could be no counterspell. Okay.
Sorry, I'm late.
I guess we'll bounce the evolution stage because sadly we're not in a position to really redeploy the Deputy of Detention, so just leave that back. So the ultimate, again, it doesn't really do, it's not as scary as the first time because I already have Omniscience. You won't get advantage from 2 instances of this ability, so. And a Patriarch's Humiliation. Okay, so they're literally playing empty hand. Well, the thing is, they can just uptick to draw 2 cards, can't they? Oh no, only 1, because only 1 has got
Every story is worth listening
the
to.
attack power, so. Okay, so they're going to draw a card.
Enough.
And what's it going to be? I guess the Omniscience part doesn't even really matter anymore because they already have so many lands.
Don't worry, I got this.
Okay. What's better? 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's instead of going for the Geist, I think we go for Memory Deluge in their turn. With the negate backup. Jeez. Yeah, this Tamiyo is going to give him so much. Like, the fact she can +1 to draw 2 is kind of ludicrous. The life gain they're getting with the Goose as well. This is going to be one of those videos where it's going to be a 1-game video, isn't it? Okay, so here's the Wanderer. I think we'll try to negate that. And if that is a counter spell, then we can try and resolve the Deluge. We're most probably losing Teferi here, which is really sad. But that's just the way it is. So they're going to hit for 2, draw 2, and then proliferate. Which means in the next turn they can go for the Tamiyo again, drawing 3 cards. Which is... The thing is, the ultimate now only draws 1 card more than the plus. So there's no point really, is there? We could even go for the Guardian Idol here. Could activate and then block the Druid. But I just think going for this is probably more effective. Assuming it resolves. Okay, so the Wrath of God's great. They're going 2 things into Teferi, so we can actually save it if we get the... No, because the sword... We already have the board wipe, don't we? So we might as well go for the tome, I think. So they will draw 2 more cards.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Yeah, this really sucks. Really sucks. Toski. Oh no, that had... Yeah, I don't think there's not much we can do about that then. That changes everything now. An indestructible creature. I guess we'll try the tome first. Let's draw a card here. If we get the midnight clock off, how annoying is that? Another board wipe. I guess it means that they counter this, we can do it again, but they're already drawing so many cards though. Okay, damn, that's such a shame they got the Toski. So, okay, we shall pass to them. I do wonder if they're even going to go for the -7. So if they do go for +1, they still draw 2 from this anyway. That's ridiculous. Toski was one of the best cards they could have actually deployed. Okay, they're going to go for that, which is mildly... Yeah, I guess it's fine. It's as long as Tamiyo's on the field, I guess that's all that matters. A lot of creatures here. Is this a fair Tamiyo deck? Is that even possible? So we could sack this to draw a card, or we could go for the midnight clock activation. I don't think this is going to be that much faster anyway, so let's go for the bridge here. Finding 1 card is probably... Okay, so it's just a land. Okay, so we got another land. Geist. Draw a card. Another land. My goodness, that's a lot of lands. Elite Spellbinder. Okay, well, I mean, we're not giving away much information there, are we? Just having a Day of Judgment is it's not ideal, to be honest. I mean, the thing is, if they're just a creature-based deck, then I don't really know how they're going to win. I mean, maybe the combat damage, I suppose. My god, they're going to draw so many more cards, aren't they? Because now they draw a card for each creature that hits us and Tamiyo, so they can draw 6 cards, well, 5 cards this turn.
Have some of my notes.
And then they can play them all for free. I don't really know where this game went wrong, to be honest. I suppose there's a lot of positions that there's a lot of points that felt bad. Proliferation as well. Oh my goodness. And an Ichimor Gauntlet. So that is basically cast an uncreature spell, proliferate 1 thing, and another Planeswalker. To think that they were on lethal at one point. Yeah, I think I'm going to quit, guys. Yeah, there's really not much we can do here. We don't have Planar Cleansing in the deck. And yeah, they'll just continue to dominate us for the rest of the game. So yeah. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.